I've been wanting to make this series for a while where I basically just go deep in the Bible and basically like in a short amount of time, kind of go deeper than, I normally go. Trying to find cool things, meanings that you don't really find usually, just going deep in the Bible. And so we're gonna start in Genesis 1, where it all starts. I think this chapter, gets read a lot. I think there's a lot of lost meaning in this chapter. I feel like it's a chapter you don't really get a lot from. But I think there's a lot there that we're just like kind of missing. And so I kind of like took a deep dive into this chapter, and I found a lot that I was missing personally. I don't know about y'all, but I want to go ahead and share with y'all. So Genesis 1, I'm gonna start with the first verse because it's a strong one. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. And for me, as a young boy, I was always asking like, so what happened before? Like, was there no before? Because it said in the beginning God created. But in the original Hebrew, it kind of clears it up. It says when God began to create. So, there was stuff before, God was before. But you know what I'm saying? I just thought it cleared it up. Not really important, but it was just a cool little fact I got. So in chapter 3, we see that God creates the light. And so I always took it for like the physical light, the light you see. The sun, brings the light. But actually in Hebrew, the word for light means wisdom and truth. And so as we know as Christians, or maybe you're not a Christian and you don't know, the nature of God is truth and wisdom. So did God create the natures of himself is like one of the questions that first popped into my head. But I mean, like, obviously that's not true. So I got to looking, this light that he's talking about that he created is the manifestation of his nature into our reality, our materialistic reality. Because in the verses before, we see darkness. So what is this darkness? Is it evil? No, he didn't create that. Darkness is the absence of wisdom in nature. It's less evil and more like, we don't know. A lack of clarity, a lack of truth, a lack of wisdom, a lack of his nature. And him showing his light is like, manifesting his nature to the world. And so I thought that was pretty cool. Just something I never looked at, and I saw studying the Hebrew words, and I thought it was pretty cool. There's two phrases that are mentioned multiple times in this chapter. Obviously, he says it was good 7 times. We all know that, or maybe you don't. Sorry, but he also says according to their kind a lot. And I want you to highlight every time he says that, because that's actually very important. I actually didn't know that, but like coming through this, I actually found out that it was. So according to their nature was so important to me because I've been studying this philosophy kind of. It's called teleology. So I have it up on my phone. I wrote a little thing on it. If y'all have me on Snapchat, y'all know what I'm talking about, because I posted it on my Snapchat. Hold on, is my hair cooked? It don't matter. It don't matter if my hair is cooked, because you about to hear why. Teleology. Everything created inherently has a purpose and acts according to their nature, just as a bee pollinates without questioning, but according to what it was made to be. Humans are the only creatures that don't instinctively know their purpose, and are also the only creatures to question their own reason for existence. This points to a purpose beyond our materialistic reality, so there is no reason to stress over what is not your reason for existence. Where you were like a horse that worries that he cannot pollinate the flowers. My bad, I got a retainer in. It's low-key messing with the way I'm talking. And I wrote that kind of weird too. So anyway, so basically, according to their nature, everything else they were made according to their nature, but we were made according to the likeness of God. Our purpose was to be with God, and often we're always searching for our purpose. People say, I'm just trying to find myself, or stuff like that, trying to find my purpose. That's been like the big question since humans began, was like, what's my purpose? But as Christians, we know our purpose, and that's to be in relationship with God. But while we're here on earth, we still have a purpose, but it's not trying to get the most money, trying to get the hot girl or whatever you're dealing with. It's to spread the word of Jesus. And like all those things can be good. And I'm not saying to not try to get money, but don't let that roll over your life, because it's really just distracting you from the purpose. You want something that'll help you with the purpose. And all those things can help you with the purpose. You just gotta get your priorities straight. I just thought that was a good reminder, a good philosophy, and a good kind of argument for God. It's used as an argument for God, which, you know, I like it. But the other one is God said it was good 7 times. What's the importance of this? I mean, the number 7 is the number of completion, but I think that's cool, but I don't think it really matters that much. But it was good. I kind of just skimmed over what it was good meant before. Like, you know, we all know what the word good means, so like why even try to like look at that? But it was good. It means that it fulfilled the purpose on which it was made for. So everything that God made fulfilled its purpose because he's God. He knew what was going to happen. He knew when he was creating it what was going to happen. So of course it fulfilled its purpose. And for us it says very good. We're very good because our purpose is that much greater. Our purpose is that much better, that we get to have a relationship with God, that these things like the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, you know, they don't get to have that like we do. They don't get to have the spirit and the soul that we do. That's a gift from God and our likeness of God. They don't get the likeness. They get according to their nature. And so, you know, don't waste your life, you know, chasing things that's not your purpose. Chase your purpose and let these things help you with it, you know? When you find your purpose, that's whenever you begin to be happy. And, you know, I want that for everyone. Like, that's why I kind of want to do this, is like, I want people to find their purpose. You know, I'm tired of seeing everybody be sad. In reality, there's a lot to be sad about. But if you really realize that your purpose isn't for this materialistic reality, but to be in a relationship with God, you know, there really isn't anything to be sad about.
All right, so when I went inside to edit the video, I realized I missed a lot, and I'm not going back outside because it was freezing. I mean, you could see like every time I talked, you could see the air. But I'm back here and I missed some stuff, and I wanted to go over it because I thought it was very important. It's a cliche verse, kind of. I hear a lot when we read Genesis is, "Let us make man in our image after our likeness." And so it's basically pointing to the Trinity, you know, using plural for God. But I saw something deeper in this verse that I observed. When it points to the Trinity, I also think that we reflect a Trinitarian life as humans, a multifaceted life that differentiates us from, you know, animals or, you know, other things God created. Augustine had a similar view to me, to my observation, in the idea that, you know, our minds reflect a Trinitarian life. Let me see if I get this right. Our memory, our intellect, and our love. Okay, I did get it right. That those in our mind reflect a Trinitarian life. Not that we have the Trinity in us, or, you know, the Trinity of God in us, but our minds reflect a Trinitarian life. And so that's kind of what I got right there. Never really dug that deep until now, so that's kind of cool. And then obviously, after that it says, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the heavens, and over the livestock, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps on earth. And so what can we get from here is basically that God gave us dominion over this earth. I mean, that's what it just said. But I want to go a little bit deeper on that, and the fact that, like, kind of what does this mean? So God giving us dominion is him letting us rule it for him right now. It's not ours, but it's ours to rule right now, waiting for his coming. And so I thought that was pretty cool. And I think that, you know, we can see that in all aspects of our lives. I mean, don't mess up something that you didn't create. Like, this is his creation, not yours. So you have no right to, you know, destroy it. And that doesn't just go for animals and nature, but it goes for people too. It goes for people. Like, that's God's creation. Who are you to be mean? Who are you to, you know, diminish it? So that's just some stuff I picked up that I forgot to put in the video.
All right, so I guess that's it. I don't know if it's gonna be short or not. It's my first video. I'll try to edit it and put it out. And I guess next episode we'll do Genesis 2 maybe, if y'all mess with this one. But yeah, all right, see y'all.